Throughout history, prophets were sent to guide humanity whenever people lost their moral compass. Each story preserved in the Qur'an and is more than just a record of the past. It is a living lesson for us today. One of these stories is that of Prophet Lut, also known as Lot in the biblical tradition. He lived among a community that had abandoned moral values, embraced corruption, and turned away from God's guidance. Despite immense social pressure and rejection, Lut stood firmly for truth, justice, and morality. His courage in the face of a corrupt society offers powerful lessons for anyone who has ever felt isolated while holding on to their principles. In this video, we will explore the story of Prophet Lut as described in the Quran, his mission, the challenges he faced, the destruction of his people, and the timeless wisdom we can apply in our lives today. Prophet Lut was a nephew of Prophet Abraham. Peace be upon them both. He grew up under Ibrahim's influence, learning the importance of monotheism, morality, and obedience to God. When God appointed him as a prophet, Lut was sent to the cities known as Sodom and Gomorrah. These cities were wealthy and prosperous, but their moral corruption was deep and widespread. The people of these cities engaged in practices that were openly unjust, shameless, and against the natural order God had set. They abandoned healthy family life, disrespected guests, and were infamous for their crimes. It was in this environment that Lut was tasked with guiding people back to morality, compassion, and obedience to God. His story is not just about one particular sin. It is about what happens when an entire society normalizes corruption and loses its sense of shame and justice. Prophet Lut's message was simple, yet powerful. He called his people to 1. Worship Allah alone, abandoning idol worship. 2. Live with purity and morality, returning to natural and healthy relationships. 3. Practice justice and hospitality, treating others with respect and kindness. The Quran records his words, "Do you approach immorality with such greed while you see? Do you indeed approach men with desire instead of women? Rather, you are a people behaving ignorantly." Quran 27:54-55. Lut spoke with clarity and conviction. He reminded his people that their behavior was not only immoral but destructive to family life and social harmony. But instead of listening, his people mocked him, dismissed him, and accused him of being self-righteous. They even threatened to expel him from their city for daring to challenge their way of life. This shows us that calling to truth often means standing against powerful social norms. It requires courage to be the lone voice of morality in a world that celebrates corruption. Prophet Lut faced resistance not only from strangers, but also from within his own household. According to the Quran, even his wife sided with the corrupt people of the city. This added a heavy emotional burden to his mission. Imagine being one man, standing alone against an entire community, with even your closest companion unsupportive of your mission. Yet Lut never compromised. He continued to warn his people with patience and persistence. The community's response grew more hostile. Instead of reflecting on his message, they doubled down on their corruption. They said, "Expel them from your city. Indeed, they are men who keep themselves pure." Quran 7:82. This verse is powerful. It shows how corrupted societies can flip morality upside down, treating purity as something strange and unwelcome. Lut was rejected precisely because he called for purity and truth. The Qur'an narrates a dramatic moment in Lut's story, the visit of the angels. God sent messengers in the form of handsome young men to Prophet Lut to deliver the news of impending punishment for his people. When the corrupt townsfolk heard about these guests, they rushed toward Lut's house with evil intentions. Lut was distressed, not knowing how to protect his guests from the mob outside. The angels reassured him. "O Lut, Indeed, we are messengers of your Lord. They will never reach you. So set out with your family during a portion of the night, and let not any among you look back, except your wife. Indeed, she will be struck by what strikes them. Indeed, their appointment is for the morning. Is not the morning near? Quran 11:81. This moment highlights Lut's compassion and moral responsibility. He was heartbroken at his people's corruption, yet he still tried to protect them until the very end. His pain reflects the struggle of a prophet who loves his people, but cannot save those who refuse to change. After years of rejection and defiance, the time for mercy ended. At dawn, God's punishment descended upon the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. The Quran describes a powerful and terrifying scene. A mighty blast struck them. Their cities were overturned. Stones of baked clay rained down upon them. So we made the highest part of the city its lowest, and rained upon them stones of hard clay, layer upon layer, marked from your Lord, and it is not far from the wrongdoers. Quran 11:82-83. Their wealth, power, and cities carved into stone could not protect them. When a nation abandons morality and refuses all warnings, its downfall becomes inevitable. Prophet Lut and the believers who followed him were saved, but his wife perished with the disbelievers. This was a painful reminder that salvation is based on faith and obedience, not on family ties alone. The story of Prophet Lut is not only about the destruction of a sinful nation. It is a lesson for every individual and every society. Some of the key lessons include: 1. Standing for truth requires courage. Even if you are alone, holding on to morality is worth it. 2. Family ties cannot replace personal faith. Each soul is responsible for its own choices. 3. Societies collapse when corruption becomes normalized. When immorality is celebrated and purity is mocked, destruction is near. 4. Hospitality and respect are essential values. The people of Lut disrespected even the sacred duty of welcoming guests. 5. Divine justice is inevitable. God is merciful, but persistent defiance has consequences. These lessons are not about condemning individuals, but about warning societies not to normalize corruption. The story is a reminder of the importance of protecting morality, family values, and justice. How does Prophet Lut's story speak to us today? We live in a world where standing for truth can feel lonely. When society celebrates harmful practices, those who speak up for morality may be ridiculed. Lut's story gives us strength. It is better to stand alone with truth than to follow the crowd into corruption. The rejection of Prophet Lut also shows how people can distort morality, labeling purity as strange and mocking those who remain faithful. We see similar challenges today where values are inverted, and those who call for ethics are marginalized. Finally, Lut's story is a reminder of responsibility. Every blessing, whether it is family, society, or wealth, is a trust. If we use it responsibly, it brings growth. If we abuse it, it leads to destruction. The Quran does not preserve this story to shame a past people, but to guide us in protecting our own societies from falling into the same errors. The story of Prophet Lut is one of courage, patience, and unwavering commitment to truth. Despite being surrounded by corruption, he stood firm, guided his people with compassion, and never compromised his principles. His life teaches us that real strength lies not in numbers or power, but in standing for truth even when the world is against you. Which lesson from Prophet Lut's story inspires you the most? Is it his courage, his patience, or his refusal to give up on morality? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue learning together from the wisdom of the Quran.